Michael from Break a Pencil here. So over the last 6 months or so, I've been tracking the content that I've been creating and publishing, both content that's written as well as video content like this one, and looking at it across multiple channels. Right, I put it out over my Maven email list, over my Broken Pencils newsletter list, LinkedIn quite a bit, and I've been collecting all this data, and now I want to know what to do with it. And I'm kind of stuck with where do I go next. So I want to demonstrate something today that is, how do I use AI to help me think more clearly? So what I've seen often is when people use AI for writing or for analysis, they prompt in one of two extremes. Either they just sort of give a very generic, write me something about this, or look at the data and tell me this, and they get pretty generic output, and they're usually dissatisfied. Or they spend a lot of time trying to perfect the prompt and get it just right so they really get exactly what they think they're looking for. And oftentimes they may not get what they're looking for, or they spend a lot of time, or they may be even like over constrain the problem. With AI, actually, and this is what I want to demonstrate to you today, this idea of kind of a messy brain dump is incredibly powerful. And so that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to analyze my content analytics and see what comes out of it. So before I get started, let me just kind of quickly show you the data so you can see what I'm going to be providing to AI. I've got, as I mentioned, starting back in June through just about a week or so ago, so December, I've got about 6 months of content, about 150 pieces of content, ranging from the Maven email, my LinkedIn newsletter, my Beehive is my Broken Pencils mailing list. I've got different calls to action, and for each of these, I'm tracking things like open rate, click rate, impressions, reach, reactions, comments, reposts, things like that. So a bunch of data here. And I've been tracking this, and I want to actually figure out what to do about this. So I'm going to go and give a brain dump to Claude for a prompt. And as I've mentioned in the past, and I'll say again, voice to text is incredibly powerful for this. You get a lot more nuance and information out by talking than you do by just typing. And while typing is important to have, if you're typing an email, it needs to be coherent and follow a sequential flow. AI doesn't care about that. So I can just kind of dump a lot of info. Attached, please find a bunch of content analytics and content metrics that I've been tracking for the last 6 months or so, mostly around my LinkedIn and my email and my video content. I'm trying to figure out what's working and what's not working. I've been capturing this data with the hopes that it would start to show me some insights or some trends that I can then use to optimize the content I'm creating. But honestly, when I look at it, I don't see what those trends or insights are. Can you take a look at this data and let me see what you find? You'll notice in there is a bunch of metrics around engagement and reposts and open rates and click rates, but also calls to action that I've included in the various different pieces of content. Ideally, what I'm hoping to do is use some of this data to inform any course correction or adjustments to what I'm creating content-wise. And also, I'd like to know if there's data that I'm not collecting that I should be collecting, or if some of this data that I am collecting is really kind of frivolous and I can stop collecting it, because every week this takes me a fair bit of time to pull together. The rhythm of my content is I post a video that I send out over my Maven email list every Saturday. 2 days later on Monday, I send out my Broken Pencils email newsletter through my Beehive list, but also to my LinkedIn newsletter subscribers. And then on Tuesday on LinkedIn, I republish the video that I had sent out on Saturday. I usually do another midweek LinkedIn post Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, and then I start the cycle over again. So help me out, especially in light of what you understand my content and business strategy is, and give me a sense of what's working, maybe what's not working, and if I can optimize the data collection and my content creation. So if you notice, I gave it a really big, just kind of thought dump, right? I would never send this as an email, but AI can handle this. And now I'm just going to go ahead and add a PDF of the table I just showed you a few minutes ago. And let's go ahead and see what it does. All right, full analysis, but key takeaways, biggest insight, strategy content dramatically outperforms AI content, and it goes on and on from here. So what you'll notice is, again, the saying garbage in, garbage out, it's somewhat true. I mean, certainly if you put in just sort of not a lot or bad information into AI, but putting in a very sort of brain dump, messy problem, AI can help you with putting it together, finding the patterns, helping with some structure. And so next time you're stuck, don't ask AI to solve it. Just dump your mess and ask AI to look at it, help it find some shape, and then you, with AI, take it from there. So after this video, I'm going to go and have a conversation and really start digging into this. As always, thanks for watching. If you want to get notified anytime I put out a new video, go ahead and subscribe below and break a pencil.